Good morning, friends. Uh, what I would like to see on this is for us to come back up here and sweep these highs and start to reject, and that would be a re-entry for the short. This is something I did not want to see. I wanted to see it come up here, take these highs, and start rejecting. Now it's trying to make a football right here, and I don't like that. Yeah, it's not looking too good for the shorts right now. They might want to come back up here and retest this, where the real big sellers were up in here. I'd rather it not. I'd rather us just roll over and keep dumping, but we'll just have to see what it puts out, I guess. Now, whenever it came down and took this previous low and bounced hard, if we was in a long, that's what we'd be looking for, was for it to go. I saw this being a possibility and was hoping it would fail, but it didn't, so we'll have to see where the measured move puts us. Yeah, that puts us back up to retest where the big sellers are, so maybe it's just making a bigger football down here to include the whole thing. Lately they have been going a little higher and then rolling over. That's something that I've been noticing here lately. So if that's how it's going to continue, I'm going to have to change my style a little bit on trading them. Now to me it looks like those big sellers are defending their position. We're having a reaction off the 200 SMA. I'm just waiting to see what kind of reaction it has in this area, because a lot of big sellers came in there. Are they going to defend their position, or are they just going to blow through them? We're right back at the 0.5 of this range, so that lines up with a 0.5 retrace for them to just keep sending it down. So let's see what happens. Okay, now we hit the measured move of this football down here. Let's see if they want to keep blasting up. Looks like right now they're going after all the chasers. Right here would be a strong SR flip if we start rejecting here. That lines up with my 313 EMA, I believe that's what it is. SMA, sorry. They're both SMAs, my bad, I thought they was EMAs. Now this here, this is an M1 IFVG, is what it is. It was just a fair value gap, but now it has been inversed. So if you just go off that, it should continue up. We've cleared the 0.5 of this little range, getting rejected at the 618 so far. So let's see if this IFVG is going to hold, or if they're just going to blow back through it. Okay, so now it's making a football right there. So my things are. Okay, so now it's making a football right there. So my things are. Okay, so now it's making a piece of football right there. So my things are. Okay, so now it's making a football. What the fuck's it doing? So my things are. Okay, so now it's making. Having all kinds of technical difficulties this morning, I guess. But my thoughts are this should continue. It's making the football right here after the IFEG. So I would think it would continue at least up to the 786 if it's going to. But this right here is a real strong resistance. So we'll see. We come down in here and bounce. I'm going to give it a try for the long, but it needs to come down here and take one of these lows and bounce first. The only thing that I don't like about this is we rejected that SMA
2 times. So just have to wait to see what happens, I guess. You gotta wait, buddies. Okay, just wait. Damn. Mm. Mm. I probably should have had my stop a little wider into this breaker. So far it's holding, but I don't know if I had too much faith on it. We turned this into a BPR really quick, so Well, we didn't close on the 5 IFEG, so that's a little bit of hope. We're still holding that 200. We bounced off the breaker. Making a little football right here. So yeah, I think it's lining up to keep going back up. Got a little SR flip right here. We come down back to support, held it. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, now the stop's going to have to be somewhere down in here because they could come down and smash this little double bottom real quick. But I am not doing good today, that is for sure. They still haven't taken these lows, which I think is sketchy. I would like for them to come down and sweep that before moving away, because not taking those first isn't too good in my opinion. But that could just be the big boys down here defending their positions. We are holding that M1 breaker. We haven't even touched the center of it so far. But we need to get back up into this BPR up here real fast. If we don't do that, I don't like what's going on too much. Oh, you piece of shit. Okay, there's that low sweep I was waiting on, and we got a bounce. So, as long as that holds, we're good. Uh, with my model, it has a process that it likes to make, which it'll make the football start making a move, come back down, sweep the lows of the football to catch everybody that was early in it or not trailing their stuff, just to come up and blast. So we'll see if that's what's going to happen or if I'm just offsides. But it's really starting to look like I'm just offsides today. If we lose this 786, I'm definitely offsides, and it's just going to keep blowing down. I gotta go pee. Get down. It's 2000. That should have fucking been something big. Hmm. Okay, so I'll be waiting to see if we make a little football right here. That would be ideal before taking the lows. Chop out a little bit right here to make everybody think they're not going to sweep it. And if we do that, I will try a short, and that will be my last trade. Be quiet. Well, that didn't happen, and there is a lot of sell orders coming through here, so we are probably just going to keep blowing through. I probably should have stuck to my original bias, where this was the football. We came up to test these big sellers up here, and it just sold off hard after that. So if I wouldn't have flip-flopped and just stuck to my original thing, I probably would have played this a little better. But ideally what would happen here is the same thing I wanted to happen right here. We chop around, make a little football to continue down. You see right down here, there's over 2,000 sell orders. That could just be buy stops combined with that, with anybody that had their stops underneath here, but that looks like aggression to me, and it should just keep selling. So we're waiting to see if they're just going to instantly rip back up after the chasers, and if this was a bunch of buy stops, or if this was really sell orders. So if these were sell orders and not buy stops, it shouldn't come back above this. It should come here and start rounding out to continue down. This is looking pretty bearish to me. They're really struggling to try to get back above there. If this don't play out, this is my last trade. Okay, we took that low, so I trailed my stop. I don't want it to just come ripping straight back up and not get anything out of it. But I would like to see this just melt and fall off a cliff. Let's see how fast of an elevator this is going to be. That's my problem. I switched bias too soon, and I even explained that the model has been going up before going down in a bear case lately. Volume's coming in hard, so I would like to see this just keep melting. And the measured move takes us way down here to the breaker from, I believe that was an hourly breaker, is what I had that marked out as. I don't remember right now, but I have it labeled as a breaker from before, so. Come on, elevator, just sink. Ah, looks like we trailed a little too tight, but this would be the SR flip. It should roll over and continue, but they might want to come back up here to take the highs. If we do come back up here and take these highs and start rejecting, uh, that's a re-entry in my opinion. So, and I don't even think it's going to come back up here. I think it's going to die right here and just fall off. I think I trailed just a fuzz too tight, but we'll see. MACD says it's pushing, so we might come up here and take these highs. Yeah. Well, I got some of my losses back. Yeah, this needs to hold. This little breaker needs to hold. We'll see. What I would love to see is just to come up here, sweep these, rejection for continuation. If you pull a fib right here, like I did, we are rejecting at the 786, and that is good for the bear. So if you are bearish, now is the entry short. Stop above the breaker. The sensitivity it had off of that, it should just elevate her down. We'll see. Now what my brain is seeing is this. It's pointing down, so that's more bearish. Come on, stop your shit, child. I would like to see a bounce right here and it'd be really hard to come back up and either take the highs or take this high. to get longs chasing. Since we didn't take that, I believe this right here is inducement for longs. If we come up here and sweep these or these highs and start to roll over, that'd be beautiful. But I think it's more bearish and it's not going to come up here. Looks like we're going to end up coming down here for this higher time frame breaker. But my thoughts are they are just trying to induce longs to dump in their faces. So we'll see. I don't know where mommy's at, buddy. I would normally wait until it takes a swing to trail my stop, but with this being such a big range, I trailed it a little bit early. But we should just blow right through this. Should. Stop it, buddies. They might want these highs again. I'm going to wait to see what happens there. If they come back up and take those, I will re-enter. Come the fuck on. Stop your shit. You have your binky. Go the fuck upstairs. Go. You're crying to mommy? Go upstairs with her. Okay, I like what I'm seeing. There was a big buy that got trapped at the top. If they come up here, sweep these highs, they could possibly get a bunch more trapped at the top just to roll over and send it down. That's my thought process on what's going on right now. Now I'd like to see a really quick, hard spike up just to take this and just as fast sink it. Maybe they come back down into here first, but I'd really like to see a real hard spike up, and that would be inducing a bunch of longs. Little 5-second model says we should get up here. See how hard it snaps every time it gets to there? And big sellers are defending their position. I want to see it come up and dip into them before sinking. But we are holding the CE of that perfect so far. And that's that bear breaker from right here on the 1 minute. So let's see here. We got a bunch of buys up here. Can we trap these buyers and sink, or is that enough to just keep pushing it? Looking more like I'm going to get stopped out again. It'll probably come up here, tap the 313 and reject. Just to stop me out right before it elevators down. But it is what it is. We had a really strong close over that breaker. This fair value gap is holding. This is the only thing that looks good so far for the short. But we closed above the center of it, so that is no bueno either. Well, today has definitely not been my day. We're showing weakness right here at that. So I guess what I should have did was pull a fib and wait to see what kind of reaction it had at certain levels. Yeah, see, look at that. Right at the 0.5, start to reject. I guess that is what I get fading my model. It played out exactly how it was supposed to. And it's making another one right here. So apparently they're going for the chasers. And what's the measured move of this? The measured move of this puts us up into the 706 and close to the 786. So I'm learning today that I need to not let my bias affect what I'm seeing and just play my model as it presents itself. Because this is what I look for is whenever you have some kind of breaker, mitigation block, it chops around, makes this football consolidation, and it rips. You know, nothing is 100%, but I should not be fading my model. And by letting my bias get in the way, that's what happened. So, it all just boils down to having more patience and waiting for confirmation on things. I have a problem with waiting on confirmation. So now we inversed that big gap. So, with it doing that, it should at least push up to here to take some kind of liquidity. Maybe come up, sweep these, hit that BPR and reject. That would line up with 786 and everything, maybe even up to the 893. Okay, so now maybe they're just going to come back down, touch this 0.5, let their buddies get in just to come back up. But normally if we close above the 0.5 of the range, we should get to the 786.
I'm not going to take any more trades. I need to learn to not take as many and wait for confirmation. That is something I struggle with, but I will get a lot better. It says I got 2 people watching. Who else is out there besides Pierre? They've used this level as support twice. Now is it going to be resistance or is it going to flip it back into support? What I thought the original draw on liquidity was is this right here, these equal highs from pre-market. That is what I thought the draw was. Whenever we came up in here, I thought for sure we was coming up to there, and it just power dumped. What'd we dump from there? Pretty far. Yeah. Almost 1,000 ticks. So we still haven't came back down to the 0.5 of this. If it's really bullish, it won't. But I would like to see it come back down here and touch the 0.5 of the range. And that would be almost the center of this IFEG. Orange is inversion fair value gaps. Blue I use for breakers. I use yellow for regular fair value gaps. And red is for rejection block, is the colors I use. I do like to play the break and retest of the 313, and that's what it's doing now. We retested the 0.5 and testing this, so that should be a long. Aiming for at least this area right here. Stop would be right below the inversion fair value gap, so around 78. My thoughts are if we come back down below that, it should continue. So just doesn't have to be a hard stop right here. If you put like a hard stop, you might put it a little lower because they might want to just wick down into here and come right back up. You want to see if there's a close below this on the 1 minute time frame. It's a 1 minute inversion, so you would want to see a close below that for your stop. Now what I'd like to see is for these big sellers to get trapped. But to be honest, it's not looking too good. We're below the center of that and it's struggling. Yeah, it's looking like today is definitely not my day, friends. But I have said this before, this model has a process to it that it likes to follow a lot, which is make the model, make the move, come back to sweep the lows before making the real move. And I usually follow that process pretty good, but whenever I see it make one at the top, it's kind of hard to not take that. So let's see, this would be a resistance. Are we going to turn it into support? Just come down here, sweep these lows to blast up. Let's pull a fib on here to see what we're looking at. 706 lines up with those lows, so maybe come down, sweep those, bang this, and go back up. I really believe that fibs are an important tool to use while trading. Use that to judge order flow on whatever little ranges it's making. You know, and practice on pulling from different areas instead of pulling the whole move like that. Take and pull a fib from where the last move originated. And I have a buddy that plays the 893 bounce. That's why I have it on my fibs. And even just that alone, if you just played that, front run it a little bit because it's not always going to hit that, but even if you just played the 893s, front run it a little bit, that was 75 ticks already. If you just play that bounce and look for 60 or 40 ticks, that's a really good scout method. And whenever you pull your fib, say you pull it from here and it's not making sense, then you just go from the next one. And if it blows through your areas or whatnot, you know, you can take and pull it from the next one. Or if you want to pull the whole range, that's just something that you need to mess around with and, you know, get used to. A little football there. That should send us back up into here. We'll see. I like the smaller time frames just because all this stuff's fractal. And it starts in the super small ones and it makes it fractal to the bigger. Here's what I'd like to see happen. I have a model that I call the Timmy Stiletto, which is just basically a lowercase h and the bottom rounds out. Come up here, SR flip this, continue, and go take out the highs. We had, let's see here, if I move my fibs back to where I had it instead of the whole range. Crap. So I like that from there. That gave us a solid 706 bounce, up to the 0.5, rejection back to the 618, up to that. Okay, I like the fibs pulled from there. I think fibs are a really big tool. If you don't use them, I would suggest start using them. I use fibs to judge order flow. I pull them all the time from all over. But I think that's a tool that you need to get used to using. My mentor taught me to use fibs on everything to judge order flow. Let's see, I was talking earlier about the break and retest of the 313. We'll see if we come up here, if it gets back above it. The main time frame I use that on is the 15-second, but the 1 minute works really well also with that. Break it, retest, slam down. You know, nothing's perfect, but that's just something else that I use to judge order flow with. MACD says volume's coming in, so we'll see. Anything coming up there? No, big buy there. Let's see your 5 second. No, there ain't a whole awful lot of volume coming in right now. Volume's kind of drying up, so we'll see what happens. Okay, we come down here and just barely swept those lows like I was talking about. I like that. Now we have a bigger stiletto going on. It's not quite the rounded bottom that I would like. I'd like it to round it out here instead of like V back up like that, but same premise. But yeah, same premise. We came down here, stopped right before it, got some longs to chase. They put their stops right there, come down, swept them out, and now go back up. This also falls right in play with making my model, going the move, come back, sweep the lows to make the actual real move. So let's see if that process is going to play out. We're back over the 200. We're kind of making that now. If you drop to a smaller time frame, we need to hold this. If we come back down below 60, I don't think it's very good. We need to hold this for the bulls. But bear scenario, I don't know. I'm having a hard time being bearish right now. This could be what it is, just an ugly one, to where that's the football consolidation that keeps sending it down. But junk. This is lunchtime anyways, so we just took lows. This would be our lunchtime low. I really think we're coming back for these highs. I have a hard time being bearish right now. Right there's the little football. Measured move. Takes us back up into here, so maybe up to there, chop around another one. Same thing, come up here, chop around another one, and just keep stair stepping up. There we go. Alright. We got a big seller down here trapped at the bottom. That could have been that could have been sell stops from here though. But the way I see it is, if that's not sell stops, we got a big seller trapped down here, and they would like to run away from them as fast as possible. Just depends on how much cash that seller has, and if they just keep flooding it. I don't know. But yeah, say that could definitely just be some sell stops that was placed down there and somebody got liquidated. But same thing. Somebody come down there, they just liquidated some real big player to run straight away from them. I say I have a real hard time being bearish down here. I really think we go back for these highs. Oh, wait. Let's pull a fib here. Yeah, at least back up to the 0.5. That's where that goes, and we'll see what it does up there. But I'm just gonna delete this crap. Too much crap on there, bothering me. Now let's see, when it gets up here to the measured move, are we going to chop out and make another one, or are we just going to go right through it? I would like to see it chop out and stop right before here and start chopping out, because that would induce a bunch of shorts, you know, low, high, lower, low. That would be the lower high. So maybe they pile in a bunch of shorts right here for them to come back, touch the 200 to keep ripping. We'll see. Sellers are coming in strong there, though. So we had resistance. Are we going to turn it to support and just blast? That's what I'm thinking. But today, I have not been very on, so... Oh, that was the center of the daily, huh? I haven't looked at the big time frames. What number is that? Probably down in here, this 50 area. I believe, what, 055 was a big number last night in Asia session, so maybe they're just reusing that to send it off of. Because I did notice last night they used that 25055 as a really strong support resistance area, so maybe that's what it is again. And if you say that's the center of a daily fair value gap, that lines up pretty nice. Let's see here. We got 100 ticks to there. This is the thing. I'm having a hard time being bearish, but I can't ignore this. This consolidation says that it could dump really hard. You know, and if I pull a fib on this, that's like a 786 right there, I'm pretty sure. Just glancing at it, I'm about positive that's about a 786. Oh, that's an 893. Yeah. Well, I'm going to leave this one here for now. Because right now we are at the 0.5 of this little range we established from 11:30 till now. So an hour, past hour. Yeah, wow. Well, from the looks of this, looks like the sellers are in control. We had big buys coming up there that trapped them, and they're piling in the shorts. So, damn. Today has just not been my day. And once again, that's that 313 retest to send it down. Look, the last time it touched it, what did we have? We had 22 ticks of drawdown for a 180 tick move. And this time, we didn't have no drawdown, maybe just a couple ticks, for a 226 tick move. And look at that. It should come down here. These measured moves, what I do for those, you know, I'm sure you've seen how I did it. But all I do is just pull the leg that made it. I see this consolidation, the leg that made this, I take that and I swing it over. Yeah, if I put it at the highest right there, it hit it. That's how I get my measured moves. Same thing for this little one I seen right here. I just take that, put it at the low, and it hits. It's pretty crazy on how accurate this stuff can be. But you just can't fight it. You have to just play the model when it presents itself. This one was kind of sloppy, but it still did the thing. And it went straight to where it's supposed to go. Now my brain sees one forming right here. And usually when they form at that steep of an angle, no matter what it is, that's like super bearish. You can't even get back to go sideways. It's going down like that. So you do that one. Let's see here. What's the projected move for it? And that puts us down there. Take the low a day, so I guess order flow's bearish. I got a few people watching now. Hello, everybody. But yeah, this is what my brain sees. I trade these little football consolidations. Some of them are really, really ugly, but that's just what my brain recognizes as something that repeats. And if I just play that and not let my emotions get to me, it works really, really well. I say what, there's like probably 4 or 5 instances I can pull in the past hour where it did exactly that. The measured moves lined up perfect. And if this one plays out, that'd be like 6. Just like anything, there's so many different models, strategies, and stuff that work, but you have to make it work. On paper, in theory, you know, a lot of it works, but our emotions and FOMO, that kind of crap, that's what gets in the way. You know, so us as traders, we really need to work on that stuff and get our mental to where it needs to be. I know that I struggle with that a lot, and that is something that a lot of people struggle with. The model and actual trading isn't hard. It's, I don't know. But the actual trading part's hard. After you know technical analysis and stuff, the probabilities, you just have to play the probabilities. This model, this consolidation from all my back and forward testing, has anywhere between 60 to 80% chance of playing out. Whenever you get into Asia session, it goes down. Asia is just stupid, and the probabilities are a lot lower then. But in New York, London, times that there's a lot more liquidity, this has a 60 to 80% win rate all day long. And I've got years of data to back that up. So let's see here. Is the process going to play out where we just made this football come back, sweep the highs to continue? Or is it going to be this football that they come back up to sweep the highs to continue? One of them is going to happen. That I can guarantee. This process, I've seen it repeat so many times. But in my head, what this consolidation, is the big boys loading up. Came down here, bounced, came up, big boys sold hard. Came down, took the low, bounced hard, did that. Big boys sold into all this buying pressure. And then it just rolls over. But from all my time at staring at the charts on the lower time frames, this is how the market works. Is it bounces around, consolidates into a football shape, blast off. Bounces around, consolidates into football, bounce and blast off. At least that's how my brain sees it. Now, are we just going to take these highs and dump, or is there going to be a little football here to put us, you know, back up into here? Get rid of this fib, it's no good no more. I think I deleted the wrong one, but whatever, get rid of that one too. Yeah, this big bear move right there, that tells me that they should just continue down. Do we have some actual stuff behind that? No, indicator ain't saying nothing. What we got? Hundreds. Yeah, volume really ain't there, so. Now, are we going to do here what we just did there? Take that fractal and put it right here for it to make the high come down lower low, lower high, then to send it down? I don't know. Where is that crap, eh? Where's my bars thing at? Which one is it? Which one that one under? Huh. What is that under? There we go. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah. I'm going to put it right on top of it so don't cover stuff up. But I want to see if it's going to print like this, just to be a fractal to continue. I'm really big on fractals. The market is just a big fractal. It just does something, it fractals off from one time frame to the next, and it just keeps fractaling off. But today was definitely not my day. Holy crap. What time is it? Holy shit. Well, there's that higher time frame breaker. Holy shit. Well, we almost did the same thing as the bars pattern, but we just swept the low and sunk it. Holy shit. Wow, almost 500 ticks straight down. Well, we finally hit the measured move of my original football from back here. We came down and touched that breaker. And, wow. Yeah, looks like they're going to continue. If we chop around in here and make another football, then it really has a big measured move going down. And that one was straight damn down. So yeah, it's the same length as that. So I got numbers marked down here. So these are either previous highs or previous lows. Looks like we're trucking. Holy shit.
Go. Hee-haw.
Well,
Hee-haw.
wow.
Hee-haw.
Well, we closed underneath that breaker, so
Hee-haw. Hee-haw.
it's just gonna be a straight down ugly one, and just keep tanking.
Ha. Hee-haw.
Holy shit! Let me go. I gotta put this on. I want to see how many orders came in there, because I know there was a shitload.
Hee-haw.
Yeah, 3,000, 1,400, 1,300. You see how many orders freaking did that? Holy shit! I can't even see what that one was, but that was a big boy. Look at that. They got the buyers trapped at the top, and then the sellers just slammed it. Holy crap! Yeah, holy crap. Big buy at the bottom. They gonna trap them, or are they actually gonna push it up? Holy shit! 1,400 contracts down here. Pow! Straight to the moon. Now let's see what they're gonna do. Because right now we got high, low, lower, equal. There. Oh no, that did wick down. So shit. So they just gonna rip it straight back up, or are they gonna sweep this high, come into this fair value gap, and keep tanking? That is the question. Yep, looks like they're gonna keep tanking. These big boys are defending their position. We'll see. Yeah, wow, holy crap. This is some serious volume coming into the market. What the hell happened at 12:30? Did Trump tweet or something? Did Trump tweet? Holy crap. I have to try this short. That's definitely just a FOMO play. And instantly wrecked. I think we sell off hard from here. Holy shit, dude. That was a serious sell-off. And we're back. Wow. Wrong way, damn it. Okay, we are back to the 786 of that quick. Holy shit. I'm just being a degen trying to catch stuff. But holy shit. 200 rejection. I know we're not even close to those ones, so. Oh shit. Are we gonna make a football here and just blast?
We got it.
Holy crap. If we make this here and just blast, like holy shit. Wow, some kind of tweet or news or something. I didn't look at anything, but some kind of shit had to happen on that. Like, holy crap. Oh, what's up, Fit? Long time no see, brother. I'm being a degen right now. Today has not been my day for trading. But this, I think this should just melt. We did take a lot of liquidity down here, though. So, is this what we're doing? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what we're doing, friends. If this comes back down here, and down into this area again, I think that's long. I just can't ignore this right here. Whenever I ignored that stuff back up in here, I got burnt. My stop's at about the worst place it could be. Because they definitely could come back, touch this, or even come back down here before going back up. But this range is just so huge. And the fact that we're above the center of this and consolidating, it should go back up here, because if we was more bearish, it shouldn't have gotten past the center, or it should really struggle for that.
Let's go see if
Okay, now that I got stopped out, it's gonna blast. That's usually what happens. But right where it's at now, this is the make or break point. Whenever it breaks this little range right here, it's going hard whatever way it breaks out of. So this little range right here, whenever we break out of this, it is going to be hard. Whichever way it goes, that's my opinion.
Kick it, mommy.
Watch how fast it moves after it gets out of this range. This should just absolutely start blasting. This is what I look for on the model. Whenever it makes this consolidation, to sweep the lows and bounce, and that's the confirmation. Sweep the lows, bounce, 15-second Matilda, in there. I entered early on this. I should have waited for confirmation, which would be the low sweep, and then a Matilda. That should have been the entry. And I trail after a swing is taken because it could just sit here and chop back and forth, and I will look for a re-entry. Is how I play this model. The ones that go more sideways don't play out as often. They need to have some kind of angle. If it's angling up, it's more bullish, and even if it angles down, I like it better more than the ones that go completely sideways like this. The ones that just consolidate in exactly sideways manner, they just don't seem to have as high probability. Looking like I trailed just a fuzz too tight. But we'll see. From how much that I've watched this model, whenever it takes a swing high, I have to trail because it likes to chop to come back down. And usually will offer you a re-entry. Whenever there's this much of a range, what are we operating in here? Yeah, it's a 200 tick range. So if you're using minis, that's a lot of movement. You can just like scalp the bottom and take it to the top. Whenever I can actually be locked in and focused on that, that's good. Just scalp the bottom to the top, scalp the bottom to the top. But where I get burnt on that is I think that I'm better than what I am, and I will try to scalp the bottom, short the top, long the bottom, short the top. And whenever I get in my head and think I'm better than when I am, that's when I get burnt. So with these, you need to stick with your bias on these ones and stick to one direction. Only along the bottom, trail it to the top. On a bull example, you pull your fib or whatnot, you're only supposed to long below half of the range, and same thing, you're only supposed to short above half of the range for bearish examples. Now this right here, the aggressive entry is right now. It came back down to the bottom of the range, and that would be the aggressive entry. The more conservative entry would be to wait to see if it takes these lows, and for a 15-second Matilda afterwards. So now you would be waiting to see is if we swept these lows, or are they going to, the big buyers down here, they can hold their positions. Let's see, is there any big orders down here? We have a big sell at the bottom. So let's see, is it just going to dump, or are they going to trap? Now we have more sellers coming in. Are these the buy stops from these people that was sitting right below there, or those actual sell orders coming on? That's what you have to determine. So conservative entry, we swept the lows, we would wait for a 15-second Matilda. So we would need to close back above this bar. That's the big bar, not just one of the little tiny ones right there. You want to close back above the last one. Ooh. Big boys are coming in. That's that or either bigger buy stops. So right there, we close back above this. That's the entry. We got that right down there. That's what I would consider the Matilda entry. We made another big down bar. So I'm on the 5-second. I need to be on the 15. My bad. So on the 15-second, we have a bunch of sellers trapped. Let me turn that off. Now would be the entry. You have your 15-second Matilda, now would be the entry. Stop below the low, and you would trail as it's taking out highs. This ain't much, but I would start trailing after this is taken out. Whew, lots of volume coming in. Lots of volume coming in. Now are the buyers going to defend this, or was that just a bunch of sell stops that got burnt? This is the area that needs to hold. In my opinion, if this area don't hold, we close below the center of it, and then we're going for the lows. But if you entered in here, you're still good. Your stop is below this swing. And I would start trailing after this is taken. The only thing I don't like right now is what I'm seeing is this could be them building a short. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's just what I see. Okay, well, we took that high. Now I would be moving my stop to somewhere in here. And after it takes the next high, I would be trailing it up. So, stop should be in a little profit right now. Yeah, I don't like that we're wicking after that. And those highs line up to 786 of this last little range that we had here. So I would like to see it just blow through this and continue up. And what, the measured move of this, I have to adjust a little bit now because we made a new low. So I have to drag it down to the low. So our measured move of this puts us back up into here. 2570. Okay, now now my trail would be moved to 998. We take these highs, I'm trailing to 08. Okay. Stop to 02. We got big buys up there. Okay, now I would start trailing aggressively. Turn this off. Get it out of the way. Now I would start trailing aggressively. We just got over these highs. It should move really fast. My stop's at 16 right now is what I'd have it. And if we print to above this, my stop's immediately going to go to about 33. And we're stopped out. So that right there would have been a good trade. You'd have got in somewhere around 74 to 20, somewhere around in there. Not a bad trade. Now, we just took the highs. Are we going to come back down to the bottom? You're trailed out on this one. So, pull fib. Look at that. Almost to the 0.5 of the range. So, on this one, I would be looking for a re-entry down here around the 786, which would come down to about here. And I'd still put my stop just a fuzz below that low. And if you get knocked out and it comes down, knocks you out and comes back and gets back above this little breaker, that would be the re-entry. But why I trail with this model is exactly this. Right here. Sweep the lows, get in, trail up to the top, bang. Like how many nice trades could you have had just buying the bottom and trailing to the top? You know, that's a really nice range. You know what? Okay, let's say we got in here 74. That's 246 ticks to the top. Like that is a nice payday. We're holding 0.5 of this range, so by judging order flow, we should keep continuing up. Why I use fibs a lot is for this reason right here. We came down to the 0.5 and we held that with strength. So it should continue up. The measured move on this puts us up to 74. And if we're going to get that high, we're going to come back up here and take this. So I'm thinking, if you're in this trade still, final take profit would be 96.50. Whenever I actually get locked in and focus on price, I can read it and follow it very well. My stupid emotions, just like the rest of us, is what gets us caught up in this crap. But Master Friend definitely did teach me very well on how to read order flow. And if you don't use fibs, start using them, because this is how you judge order flow. Most of my trading is momentum trading, getting away from trying to spot the reversal, because reversals don't happen nearly as much as continuations. So use fibs and try to get in on the continuation. Is there any questions anybody has or anything like that? Anything that anybody wants me to explain, go over? I have the ATR up here just as a guide to what I should use my as my stop. This is just MACD that's a little bit different, and stochastics. I use that to judge order flow too, or what should happen. You know, nothing is, 100%, but the more confluences you have, the better. So look at that. Are we going to come back down here and sweep the lows, or what are we going to do? If you just stuck to this and only took bull trades off the bottom, you could have done very well. Just blindly following the model right now, this should send us down here to take the lows. You would wait to see if we come up, reject at the highs. This is super small time frame, 5 seconds. So let's see if it's fractal. Does this consolidation send us down here, or do they opposite and just rip us straight back up? Stokes and MACD say we go down. See right here, we got a big buy trapped at the top. Big sell coming in. Twice the sell came in as what that buy was. So was these buy stops or no? No, that's just the buyer, I think, that's trying to buy the breakout, and then we got a big seller that came in with that. So that adds a little more confluence to my thoughts of we come down to sweep these lows. What SMT are you talking about? Unless it's with YM. But right now they look like they're printing about the same to me. Yeah, YM looks super bearish. Yeah, bang. Right there. What are we doing on that one? Just look at that. There's a freaking 115 ticks just off of that. Like, these ranges are huge. And now I see it making another one. Are we going to come back up here, sweep the highs, or just going to dump? I think we're just going to dump. Yeah, Stokes and MACD say we're dumping. The only hope it's like a little lowercase h right here. It could bounce. That's the only hope that it's got. I don't think we're going to bounce higher than this to continue. Yeah, these ranges are huge. Like, this don't look like much, but holy crap. You know what I mean? That don't look like much, but, you know, look at that. From there to there is 330 ticks, 340 ticks. Like, you know, that's a big range. To be playing minis in this, you have to have a big account. There is no way you could have a $50,000 account right now and play a mini. There is no way. If you are, you're gambling. Look at this. Football play out, bang, down to here. We're taking these lows, friends. Watch how fast it smokes through them. We should come down here quick. Yeah, they're letting these people think that they're good. Watch this shit. Right after they're going to chop around here a little bit, and then they're just going to death candle down to like here. Let's see what happens. Because right now they're letting these people think, oh, we're all right, you're all right, your stops are all right, we're going to go away from it. And then my thoughts are there's going to be a death candle straight through that. Another big seller up here, 200 orders. Watch, there's going to be like a 2,000 order hit this real quick, and it's just going to sink. We still haven't taken them lows. My thoughts are there's only one or two things going to happen. It's either going to just barely dip and rip back up, or it's going to just blow through. That's the only two cases. We stop dead even at the first one. Are they going to come back up in here? I don't think so. I think it's more bearish and we're just going to blow through it. Let's see. Get all that crap off my screen. Yeah. See, we're making another little football right here. Now, are we going to bounce hard after taking this right here, or is it just going to sink? That's the question. What's this say? I haven't looked at that. So where are we at with this, huh? So we're at 1, 2, 3. We're at the 4 standard deviation of Asia. So I think we're going to go from 4 to 5 really quick. And 6 lines up down here with these are either old swing highs or swing lows. That's the only thing that I mark off high time frames with these green horizontal lines. I'm not sure what it is, but I know it's an old prominent one. So I would like to see it just melt down to here, but that's an awful big move. Okay, so we just barely ticked out that low. What's it going to do? Are we going to reverse real quick? I don't think so, but we could come back up in here. I think we're just going to melt. I got the indicator on. I can count them right here. Let's see here. That's midnight open. So that's 1. That's where it starts at. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're at the 4th. Well, I guess that's the 4th line. I don't know if you want to count the 4th or 3rd deviation, but I think that would be the 4th deviation. As far as what the toolkit says. Okay, well, we got some real sensitivity off of that low. I think this is inducing longs and they're just going to melt it. That real hard bounce got so many people just market buying that thing. I think they're going to melt it. Could be wrong. I haven't done all that well today, so they could just rip straight up. Mine's the DMN's ICT toolkit is what I'm using. That's the one that Friend showed us back in the day, and that's the one that I use. I don't use it very often, but I will turn on just to see where it's at. And look at that. We got rejected at the bottom band of VWAP. Yeah, this looks pretty bearish to me, friends. Elevator down. Now, are we just going to sweep this low again and blast off? That's a possibility. That's a double dip into them lows. They could just rock it up now. Yeah, see that? They could just rock it up now. What kind of orders came in there? This big boy defended his order down here is what happened. They did a little double dip and rip. So, that's something to really be looking forward to. See how they swept liquidity? Instantly went away. Just to come down and barely dab in again and rip straight up. You know? What's a move off of that? You know? Shit. I said, look how much for range they're doing just in a couple seconds. This is insane. We're on a 6-point range on a 15-second candle. Like, that is insane. We came up and tested the SMAs. It's sinking again. If we hold the 786 of the range, it should continue up. If we start coming past that, then they'll continue down. But holding, so this is why I think you should use fibs on like everything, because yeah, I don't know. Just look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We did just sweep the lows, come down and double dip. So whenever I see that, we sweep lows, come down and just barely double dip into that. That's a long all day long. So let's see, is it gonna hold? That's the question. Right now, you know, I'm only on a 5-second frame, but are we gonna SR flip this? That's a lot of volume and stuff coming in there. So there's a lot of orders in here. These big boys right here, they want their shit to hold. So that's the line in the sand. If we close below this, that's the line in the sand. All them big orders in there, they're going to defend that. And if they can't defend that, it's just going to melt straight through it. I see a little football here. Should go up. Should get up to there. We got to regain that 25,000 area. If we can't regain that 25K, it's down. That's where I draw my line on the top, and this is my line for the bottom. So I guess you could say this little range right here. Break below, we're melting. Break above, we're going up. Look at how much volume just came into that shit. We're melting, friends. We should, unless they're just trapping people. But that's the line in the sand. We close below there, it should go down. See, look at that. Big buy 350, big sell 812. Seller said, nope, we're taking control. Send it. Okay. All this indicator is just big orders. I set it to 3 and price change of 1.5. That's the indicator if anybody's curious. I added that on there just because I watched the Stoic Trader, and he uses an indicator of the same, but he uses Motive Wave, so I looked up one for TradingView, as I don't use Rhythmic Connections. So but something like that, you don't leave it on, you just turn it on at key areas to see if we're getting trapped buyers, trapped sellers, you know, just like up there, that trapped buyer and then a big seller came in, that told me that it should just careen down. I plotted out this area that if we go below, it's sinking, if we go above, it's going up, and it's sinking. What we got now? Close below, and 130 ticks straight down from there. But adding this little indicator right here, I think that's something something pretty decent. Pivot point. Oh, we had a pivot point there too, eh? Ooh, that's the lowest pivot too. Yeah, dang, we sunk it. So we started out up there. Pivots down there. Yeah. Oof. Pivots ain't no good no more. What is that? Now, what are we going to do? We're going to come down here and stiletto out. We would have to have this rounded. This would have to round out at the bottom. This rejection block would have to hold. I'm on the 2 minute. So this would have to hold, and it's not looking too good for the bullish scenario. Let's see here. Look at that. Holy crap. 5 minute has a huge rejection block there. So what, the center of that's like right here. So if you go off the 5 for the rejection block, we're like right at the center of it. So 5 minute time frame, we're right on the make or break area. 2 minute time frame, we get to see what happens in here. If we close below this 895.50 on a 2 minute time frame, then it should keep careening down. And I'd aim for 800. If that happens. We'll see if this holds or what it does. I don't know. Got too much crap on my charts right now. Delete a bunch of this shit. So right now we're holding the top quadrant of this 2 minute rejection block. And if I pull a fib, I'd have to say that lines up with the 786. Let's see here. Dang near perfect. If you pull from the bodies, it hit the 786. So we're going to leave it there. That looks better. I like that. Got to get used to where you pull your fibs from. That's something that just comes with time. Oh shit. Okay, now I see something that is making me go bearish. I see this now. So let's see if this is going to fill out, play out, or what. But we're right on top of that rejection block. So hang on, buddy. Hang on. Wow, look at that volume coming in. That's some volume right there. What do we got? Almost 1,000 contracts. So friends, looking like this is going to sink us. Measured moves down to 882. Where did I say to aim for in the last one? Yeah. But we still are holding that rejection block. The center of the rejection block is right at our 893 of this range. But if we don't get back above that 940 real fast, we're going down. We get a new 5-minute candle. It opened and traded up, so it should slam down.
Daddy.
Come on, buddy. So just looking for these little football consolidations is how the market works, or at least that's how my mind sees it. I'm just happy that my brain can recognize these things. But what you need to do is find something in the market that your brain sees and recognizes as repeating that plays out more than not. we should get down to here. You know, by the just going off the model and what it does, that's the measured move. It should get down to here eventually. Right now we're at the center of that breaker from whatever time frame I got it on. Sorry, I don't know what it is. It's just something that I had drawn from the other day. Let's see here. What time frame is it on? Looks like the 15-minute. Yeah, it's a 15-minute breaker from the other day. Whenever we closed above it, did that? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, well, that's a 15-minute breaker is what it's at. So on the 15-minute time frame, we have 8 minutes. If it closes below this in the next 8 minutes, we should go down. So that's adding confluence to what's going on right now. And that's what you want to do. You just want to keep going through time frames, looking at different things, and adding confluence to what you see. Now I see it making another football consolidation right here to continue. It still could easily come back up and take these highs, but what I see is this is continuing to finish making the move. Stochastics say we're cooked. MACD don't have much volume, so it should continue down. Right now, ES is the one that's holding up more bullish. So, what I would like to see is for NQ to come down and sweep this low, and ES not, and then that could be the long back up. Whether that's just a retrace long back up to it, or if that's the actual reversal, I don't know, but that's something to be looking for. If and when NQ takes this low. And it really looks like NQ is going to. Did I remove all my crap on this one too? Oh yeah, that's what I did, okay. I put them back. Oh, did I just delete it and not do that? Dang. Yep, that's what I did, okay. There we go. That's better. It should come on this, shouldn't it? Or is that all I had drawn? That must have been all I had drawn, okay. How many times did I do this today and I pulled the measured move and it went exactly to it? I don't know. Quite a few times I've done that, but that's just what my mind can see is repeating. So, and that's something that I learned from Crypto Lifer back in the day. When you play a flag, you just take the last leg that made it, and that's your measured move. And it works pretty good. And say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta go lay my kid down for a nap. So let's see if this fills out to continue or if it just ripped from here. What I would like to see is NQ take this, ES not, and it reverse. So we'll see what happens. Well, it's looking like they're both going to take it, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens here. Uh, Looks like bearish order flow is still activated. If it's still bearish, it should roll over and send it down quick. Got a big buyer down here trapped. Sell still pushing it. That's my thought process on this. Now I'd like to see speed pick up, start coming down fast. After we take a low, that would be trailing. This is the next one. This little one here I wouldn't consider. It would be this one I would start trailing after. There ain't no way I put my stop exactly where it's going to turn over at. If I did, that's what's up. But it's probably going to just blast up through here, take these highs, and then continue. We'll see. Yeah, I was going to say, there ain't no way that that's going to happen. And it's making a little football here, so that in itself should put us up here to take these highs. Just one of those days I can call stuff outright, but when I actually try to take a trade, don't pan out. I'm still super bearish. There ain't no way that they're going to do this. They should just roll over and melt it. That was just a bad trade on me, but they should just melt this. But possibilities is coming up to take this before that happens. Damn. Like I was talking about earlier, I have a problem with waiting for confirmation. For the short with this, the confirmation would have been sweep the highs and then a 15-second Matilda, which would have been this bar right here. And if you'd waited for confirmation, you'd have took a short right there, stop loss above the high. First take profit is the lows, and you trail afterwards. But once again, I didn't wait for confirmation. And if I would have, you know, entry would have been there. That's 120 ticks straight down with what we have for drawdown. If you entered at that candle, you had 30 ticks of drawdown. So that's a 3-to-1 just to right there. But the concepts that I use, they definitely work. Like I explained earlier, is this has a process. And lately, the process has been going against it a little further than what it usually does, and then making the move. What did it do? It did that quite a few times. Oh, where's the original one from this morning? That would be up here, right? Yeah, I had a bigger one right here. This was the football. It went against us a good bit before actually, coming down. And when it got back down to this, that's whenever the bottom just fell out. So what I'm thinking now is that's what it's doing here. It went against us a little bit for the bottom to fall out. So right here, maybe they're going to act like they're not going to take this crap again and make a little football consolidation right here. And that would be an aggressive entry to just take it off of this. And that would be something that you would have to just think about with playing momentum. Because if they start falling off here, it should be fast and violent. Okay, we took that low. Did ES take it? Okay, we took the low and ES hasn't yet. So, if ES cannot take this, there could be a reversal here, but it sure looks like ES is on its way to taking it. So I wouldn't be banging on that reversal or betting on it. It could happen, but my thoughts is we're going to come right down to here to the measured move. Yeah, me either. The thing is I have a really hard time watching price action and not trading it. I need to force myself to just sit and watch it and call it. Whenever I just sit in front of PA and just call it, I do very, very well. You can watch back this live to see that. Right now I see it chopping and making a football. This will either fail miserably and rocket straight back up, but I think we're going to continue to the measured move. And right now, what do we have for that? From here, we still got 150 ticks down to there. That'd be a 2-to-1. If you would enter right now, your stop would have to be just above that and take profit there, so that'd still be a 2-to-1. I think this is going to melt. This little football right here is going to come out to about right here, and then it's going to go down. If it gets that far. If it gets that far, if it comes out this far, it'll probably reverse and come back up, but if it don't make it to that, it should come down here. I don't know. I see bearish order flow. I think we're dumping. Well, if you're in the short on demo, I would put your stop at... close one would be right around here, 871, but where it really needs to be is like 882. But as I say, this should come down to here. I don't even know what higher time frame crap we're aiming for. Yeah, look at that. Measured move lines up right to there and into that 15-minute fair value gap. Pfft, bet. There you go. Now, if we come down right to this shit and start reversing, that's just going to give me even more confidence in what I see in the measured moves on shit. Can't fake this stuff when you do it live. Good job, friend. Nice short. Whenever I actually just sit and read order flow, I can do it very, very well. It's when I let my stupid ass emotions get to me that I do bad trades. You know, look at this. My stop loss, what, was right there. 21. We went to 28. And look what it did after that. My actual trades on here have been garbage today. but my technical analysis and what I've called has been pretty much on point. I'll have to rewatch this whenever I get time, but I'm pretty sure what I've been saying has been on point for the most part. Now, if we come down exactly to this right here, which we're only, what, like 50 cents off? $1 off? Where are we at? Low? 22. My low? 21. So I'm $1 off. I'm 4 ticks off on this shit. And that's just because I don't have it right at the high. If I had it right at the high, look at that. Bang. That's how my stuff says, is whenever you do this measured move, you put it at the high of the thing, and that's where it should go. Like, holy shit, friends. I really need to start waiting for confirmation, because everything that I see and stuff just tells me that I really know what I'm doing. But this bullshit here catches me. I gotta stop that. We're making another one. We're making another one, friends. And if we make another one, you see where we're going? Yeah, let's move the goalpost. 739. If this plays out. We've already traveled a long way, but if it fills out another little football, we'll take this right here. Oop, wrong thing. We're going to move it right there and see what she does. If that fills out, that's another entry. Bang. This model was a continuation model, so the market continues way more than it reverses. But alright, I've been on here long enough, so I'm just going to get off and not stretch my luck anymore. I executed like garbage today, but I think I called out PA really, really well. If you was going to take this short for continuation, your stop would have to be 886, 885, 886. Entry is right now or somewhere in this general area. Take profit 740. Yeah, that's it. You know, the difference of emotions on whenever you're in demo, even just to eval, because somehow we put stupid emotions on that too. And all the evals and funded accounts is their demo. Every one of them is demo. The fact that we have a connection in our brain that knows we can get paid off of that crap is what screws us. But we've already moved really far, so I would not take this unfunded. If you're thinking of that, do not do it. We could absolutely just reverse and rip up to here, come back up into that. Yeah, I would say with what this is doing right here, they could just be inducing longs, which is probably what they're doing, but it's not worth the risk to reward to chase this. This is afternoon. It could just be garbage. Most of the time afternoons are just absolute garbage anyways. And I know a lot of traders that do very well in the morning. They can't be content. They come in the afternoon and they just give back what they made. Got to learn to be content. If we're green on the day, if you have to take a trade, switch to another account. Switch to a different eval or whatever. Just take it on demo. If you have that itch to where you have to take a trade, do it on demo. But I think that what I've messed up in my past is I have taken too many trades on demo, and that builds to bad habits. So just be careful when you do that, because you could just be building in the bad habits. We don't want the habits of chasing stuff. You know, that's just feeding into your FOMO, and it is no good. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close this down. looking like we're reversing, but until we get above 880 and actually close like a 5-minute candle above there, I'm bearish. Until we can close, yeah, I'm even gonna move that higher. There's a fair value gap right here. We need to close above the center of this on a 5-minute basis, so 900. If we can't close a 5-minute candle above 900, I remain bearish. But that's it. God bless everyone. I hope that I helped some people today. And at least I showed you what not to do. Don't try to take a bunch of trades just because. Wait for confirmation. But thanks for watching, for whoever did. God bless everyone, and I will see you the next time.